Tabitha. Oh, in person and online. I'm not sure where the cameras are, but online. Welcome, welcome. My name is Tabitha. I'm part of the Worship Programs and Music Committee here at First Unitarian, also a member of the church. And on behalf of our team, on behalf of our church, we are honored to welcome you to worship this morning with us. Today's service will be coordinated by Andrea Freerksen, a licensed clinical social worker who will be delivering our sermon. You might know her as an alto in our choir, the leader of the Black Lives Matter task in pre-COVID times, and now the chair of the Worship Program and Music Committee, and the leader of the Earth-Centered Spirituality Circle. Today's chalice lighter will be Bobby Campbell. Ministerial intern is Liz Kreslin. Storyteller will be Liz Tolbert. Music director will be Dr. Adam Odell. We will be having music from our wonderful chancel choir. The AV technician is Osura Kyles. Readers will be Emma Wabuke, Jean Hester, Lillian Huang, Jim Proctor, Evelyn Johnson, John Hearing, Matt Zokosek, and Sam Evans. Okay? First Unitarian Church has been a home for progressive religion in Chicago and beyond since 1836. I'm always excited to hear that. That's a wonderful, beautiful thing to hear. The church sits on the western shore of Lake Michigan, south of the Chicago River. We honor the indigenous people from whom these are unceded ancestral lands, as well as the diverse and vibrant indigenous American communities who make their home here today. We are a Unitarian Universalist congregation, a community of children, youth, and adults, a people of many beliefs and traditions, bound not by the specific list of what we believe, but the values with which we share, and the mission to grow our souls and heal the world. Whether you just stepped into this church for the first time, or the 1000th time, and you've made this your home, you are welcomed here today. And I want to add to that, whether you are watching from the screen, from Zoom, you are also welcomed here today. Whether you believe in God all of the time, some of the time, or none of the time, you are welcomed here. Whether you have a PhD, a GED, or no degree, you are welcome here. No matter your race, or who you love, or how much money you have or don't have, you are welcomed here. I want to take a minute to recognize our visitors that we have today. If you are a visitor, just know we love to love here. You are going to be welcomed here, okay? We are excited to have you worship with us today. Please let us know if you are a visitor by filling out a visitor card and making sure to include your email address so we can let you know all the wonderful things going on in our weekly newsletter. You can, after filling it out, you can drop it in the offering plate when the ushers come around to collect the offering. Here at First Unitarian, we have a practice called Joys and Sorrows. If anyone has a joy or sorrow that you would like to have read out loud, please fill out a card and give it to one of the ushers as they collect the offering. If you have a joy and sorrow you would like the minister or the pastoral care committee to know about privately, you may put, I apologize. If you have a joy or sorrow you would like the minister or pastoral care committee to know about privately, you may put the cards in the sanctuary box at the back anytime. If you're concerned about where that is, feel free to ask one of the ushers in the back. They'll be more than happy to assist. After service, I want to take a moment to invite everyone to join us for our fellowship hour. It will be in Chris Moore Parlor. Just look and see where everybody else is walking to. That's probably the direction you should head in as well. We'll have refreshments and just good fellowship and conversation. To get there, you're gonna go up the stairs and use the lift to my right. Follow the crowd, as I mentioned, and I'm pretty sure everyone here will be more than happy to guide you. Just wanted to make some quick announcements. So there is, I apologize, work with me guys. We'll be having UU 101, which is a class that just explains what Unitarian Universalists believe and just our overall views. If you are interested in that, that will be immediately following service in the VOV library in the back of the church on your right. We have coming of age for the children. Not all children, it'll be ages, I know this is my class, 13 to 17, my preteens and teens. We will be having that also following service at 11:15. So if you have any children in that age group, they are free to join us then. The women's group will be meeting at 1 p.m. via Zoom. The Faithful Defiance of Authoritarianism group will be meeting at 1 p.m. on the corner of 53rd Street and Nicholas Park. Racial Justice Task Force will be meeting at 6 p.m. today via Zoom. A few more announcements, bear with me. Thursday the 16th, the Engaged Buddhism group will be meeting at 5:30 p.m. in Chris Moore Parlor. That's where we'll be having the refreshments today. And on Saturday the 16th, the Woodlawn Botanical Nature Center open house at 11 a.m. Will be also be happening. That's Saturday the 18th. Okay. Any more announcements? There's plenty more announcements in this, but if you want more announcements, feel free to look into the email newsletter that is sent out every week. That you'll find a lot more information in there. One more announcement. I want to bring Kent up to speak about the film club.
Good morning, I'm Kent Richmond. Did we have a great time last night hosting the Greg Ward concert? It not only brought our congregation out, but it brought the community out as well. And we did it under budget and at a profit. I want to thank all that came out last night, but especially thanks to our great volunteers and to Brian, who made this concert possible. Would our volunteers please raise your hands and show them some appreciation? Okay. Are you ready for more jazz?
Yeah. Jazz.
Next Wednesday at 6 o'clock, we are featuring the classic Stormy Weather. The film classic features 30 musical numbers and stars the Bronze Goddess Lena Horne, Cab Calloway, Fats Waller, Bill Bojangles Robinson, and the Nichols Brothers in the greatest dance performance ever captured on film. And that's according to Fred Astaire, by the way. And that's this Wednesday at 6 o'clock in Chris Moore Parlor. Thank you.
All right, one more announcement. I was gonna invite Andrea up here to talk about the prom. Oh.
the prom is 2 weeks from yesterday, so that means that you have less than 2 weeks to buy your tickets on Eventbrite. I believe also Cheryl is going to be at the coffee hour today for people who want to do cash payments. She will be there if you would prefer that. It is easier for us if you do Eventbrite. So, but I don't care how you buy your ticket, please just buy your ticket because this is gonna be so fun. We also need a few more volunteers to volunteer for 1 hour, just 1 hour at the prom. It's a 4-hour event, so you will have 3 other hours to have fun. And you'll probably honestly have fun while you're volunteering too. It's for adults and youth ages 12 to 17. Heavy hors d'oeuvres is included in the price of your ticket. There are discounts for you if you want to volunteer. Just ask me for the discount code. Thank you so much. I look forward to partying with all of you on, oh, I didn't say the date, on Saturday, April 25th from 7 to 11. Thank you. And back to Tabitha.
I'm hoping to see all you guys at prom. I need to see everyone's dance moves, okay? All right. It is good to be together today. Can we all agree on that? Yes. I love engagement. I love it. Let's hear it. It is time now that we light the chalice. I'm going to invite Bobby to go ahead and light the chalice. Please join me in reading our covenant as we light our chalice. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is law. This is our great covenant. We dwell together in peace to seek the truth in love and to help one another. Thank you so much.
Sometimes I want to get up here and sing a bunch of nonsense. But I know my voice ain't good enough for bad lyrics. Oh yeah. This is the first song, this is the moment of truth. If this one fails, what good will the rest of them do? I'm just trying to stay focused, trying to stay in the moment, but all I can think about is if my fly is open. I swore I checked it before I came on. Maybe that was last night. I just can't recall. I'd ask you to check for me, but that's asking a lot, so I'm just gonna check real quick and then we'll move on. You're doing it wrong, dissecting the bird, trying to find the song. It's a miracle that you're here at all. Oh yeah. I don't trust a musician who's always complaining it's hard out here, but so is everything. You know what my job was? Before I did this, I used to walk around parking lots picking up trash. You know how many people paid to watch me do that? Zero. My draw was zero for the trash pickup job, so even if no one comes to this one, they still let me play guitar. I don't trust a musician who's always complaining. Sometimes it's clear, and sometimes it's raining, sometimes it's the gorge, and sometimes it's the garage. Just get over yourself and do your job. Oh, you're doing it wrong, dissecting the bird, trying to find the song. It's a miracle that you're here at all. Hey, candle flickers. When the lights get dark, they call them first world problems, but they still break your heart. If you ever feel like the universe is against you, just take a minute to realize all it took to make you, your parents had to meet. As random as that was, and hang out long enough at least to make some love and make a baby and give it your name. And all your ancestors had to do the same, exponentially backwards to the start of life. So much had to happen just exactly right. Sparks had to catch, oceans had to freeze, billions of cells had to survive endless disease, civilizations had to crumble, wars had to get fought, bad presidents had to get elected, good presidents had to get shot, people had to leave, and hearts had to get broken, people had to die just so your eyes could open. The universe is not against you, the universe is not against you. It went through a lot just to give you a chance. It must have wanted you pretty bad. No pressure though, no pressure though. The universe went through a lot, but no pressure, bro. You don't gotta be perfect, you don't gotta be a saint, just don't waste it. This was not a mistake, no, you're doing it wrong. Dissecting the bird, trying to find the song. It's a miracle that you're here at all. Hey. No pressure.
Adam told me he'd been waiting for a while to find the right service to play that song, and wow, thank you so much. You're too loud, you're too big, you're too much. You should be softer, stronger, quieter, take up less space. Many of us grew up hearing that we were both too much, but also somehow not enough as well. We live our lives in wanting more things, wanting more time, wanting more patience, wanting our bodies to be smaller or larger, wanting for us to be different, wanting for the world to be different. And we live our lives in waiting for things to change, waiting for someone else to change or to do something first, waiting to be skinnier, waiting to be stronger, waiting to be wiser, more successful, more focused, more patient, more calm, more compassionate, more joyful, more connected. But what if all of these things, what if all the wisdom, what if everything we need, what if we were born with it already inside us? What if instead of looking for those things outside of us, we looked inside? What if life is a journey of us reconnecting to our inherent wisdom and humanity? And what if we had the resources and the community to support us in reconnecting?
In all 10 directions of the universe by Kyokan. In all 10 directions of the universe, there is only one truth. When we see clearly, the great teachings are the same. What can ever be lost? What can be attained? If we attain something, it was there from the beginning of time. If we lose something, it is hiding somewhere near us. Look, this ball in my pocket. Can you see how priceless it is?
morning, everyone. Good morning. At this time, I would like to ask all of the youth to join me on stage, please. Alrighty. Hi, everybody. What is it, Tomo? You don't want to tell us? We'll find out later. Alrighty. So the title of the story today is called The Jar Inside You. There once was a person who spent a lot of time looking for happiness. They looked for it in new clothes. They looked for it in their phone. They looked for it in other people. They looked for it in being busy, in being liked, in being successful, and in being perfect. But no matter where they looked, happiness never stayed very long. It would visit for a little while and then disappear again. One day, while walking, they saw someone sitting on a bench holding a big jar with a label on it that said, happiness. They stopped and said, "Where'd you find that?" I've been looking for that everywhere." The person holding the jar smiled and said, "I didn't find it, I made it." The other person laughed a little and said, "You can't make happiness, you have to find it. Everyone knows that." But the other person with the jar shook their head gently and said, "No, that's what everyone thinks, but happiness isn't something you find, it's something you grow." They opened the jar. Inside were small pieces of paper. They pulled out one and read it. "I helped someone when I didn't have to." They pulled out another. "I tried again even when I was scared." Another. "I rested when I was tired instead of being mean to myself." Another. "I forgave myself for making a mistake." Another. "I told the truth." Another. "I did something kind when no one was watching." The person looking for happiness was very quiet now. "So, happiness isn't in stuff?" they asked. The other person said, "Stuff is nice, trips are nice, gifts are nice, fun is nice. But happiness that lasts comes from how you live, how you treat people, and how you treat yourself." They sat together for a moment in silence. Then the person who had been searching said quietly, "I think I've been looking for happiness everywhere except the one place I never looked." "And where's that?" the other person asked. They put their hand on their chest and said, "Inside me." The other person with the jar smiled and nodded. "Everything you need is already inside you. The kindness, the courage, the patience, the love, the ideas, the strength, the answers, the calm, the happiness, it's already there. Sometimes we just forget to listen to ourselves." The other person who had been searching for so long said, "So I don't have to keep looking everywhere?" "No," the other person said softly. "You just have to start paying attention to the small voice inside you that knows you already." So that day, the person went home and got an empty jar. And on the first piece of paper they wrote, "Today I stopped searching everywhere and started listening to myself." And they put it in the jar. And that day was the day they started growing their own happiness. Not by finding it somewhere else, but by remembering everything you need is already inside of you. Thank you. And with that, we send the youth off to the classes with love. And we invite you to turn and greet your neighbor. Thank you, everyone.
Good morning. How is everybody? I love it. I am still jazzed from last night. If you could imagine here, we had a quartet, and this whole place was transformed by this wonderful music. And as my dad mentioned, boy, if I, if there's a heaven, if there's something above us, with that music, that's what I want to hear as I transition from this world to the next. And I would agree. But I'm here to talk to you today about one thing: home. Now, specifically, a spiritual home. So if there's one thing I want you to remember, one key takeaway from what I'm going to talk to us about, to share with us, is how much is your home, your spiritual home, worth? There are many interpretations of home. Home is where their heart is. Home on the range. For me, First Unitarian Church of Chicago is my spiritual home. I come here for many things. In my former life, I was constantly traveling. We're talking over 30 years of traveling. 2 years here, 3 years there, 6 months here. And one of the things that grounded me, if there was a Unitarian congregation, I joined it. I've been a member of several Unitarian Universalist congregations, one in Miami, one fellowship in Columbus, Georgia, one in Washington, D.C., and even one in Kandahar, Afghanistan. Yet I've never felt more at home than here, where I grew up. Now, I work as a real estate broker who sells homes. And the first question I always get, people ask, how much is my home worth? Why do people ask that? Because home is an investment, generally a big investment. And people invest in their homes to improve it, to make it more comfortable, to make it more livable. So ask yourselves, how much do you invest in your spiritual home? If you come here as a single person, as a couple or family, how much value, spiritual, social, emotional, do you receive? So when assessing the true value of First U as your spiritual home, I would offer, how much is your spiritual home worth? Thank you.
We now take up our weekly offering. Your generosity supports the important ministries of this church. Typically, we choose a community partner with whom we share our collection 50-50. These partnerships are one of the many ways we play an active role in supporting our community. This month, we're going to do something slightly different in that we will be supporting our own community here at First U. This month's offerings will go to the Congregational Support Fund, previously the Minister's Discretionary Fund. This fund was and is being used to support those associated with First Unitarian who are going through difficult financial times. Historically, this fund has been funded by plate offerings from 2 Sundays a year, Christmas and Easter, but this year we'll be extending it for the entire month of April to make sure we're able to continue supporting our community here at First U.
Sometimes I get asked the question, Liz, I'm not that religious. Why should I join a faith community rather than any organization doing some work that I care about in the world, right? And I'm sure all of us members have some different answers to that. I have a few different answers to that. One of them is that as a faith community, as a religious tradition, we inherit wisdom through the ages of ways to do things. Last week I called them traditional technologies of community maintenance. And so we don't have to worry or wonder about how we're going to come together to feed our souls and connect with each other. We know we're going to be here on a Sunday morning and we're going to sing and we're going to have some coffee. And we don't have to wonder how we're going to take care of each other when someone's in need within our own community, because we have a benevolence fund, our Congregational Support Fund, and these are longstanding traditions that help us know how to continue. With that, we'll take up our offering, and it will be gratefully received. As we gather each week in worship in this celebration of life, we bring our whole selves to share with each other, our joys as well as our sorrows. Today, we lift up just a few of these, a few joys. From Don Langner, a joy that April is Autism Awareness Month. Let's celebrate our diversity, including neurodiversity. A small joy, the others are mostly anonymous. A small joy, we explored South Shore's Nafsi restaurant at the Cultural Center. Great food and music, highly recommend to anyone who hasn't been there. You'll have to check it out. We celebrate the small joys too. And a joy from Jamie and Anita for our beautiful jazz concert last night. Thank you to Kent for your leadership, and we got to see our friend Ivan Lapin in person. Great joys in the community this week. We also hold in our hearts all in our community and outside these walls who are suffering, who are going through times of difficulty due to outside circumstances, due to family circumstances, struggling within themselves. We hold in our hearts all who are sick, all who are taking care of others. Know that we are with you. For all the joys and sorrows of our community and of the world, for those named and those held silently, those remembered and those forgotten, we make space for them and we keep them in our care.
This is a guided meditation designed to help you develop and strengthen a specific quality or characteristic within yourself. It's a very simplified version of a meditation from eye movement desensitization and reprocessing therapy, but I promise you it's not the actual therapy. I'm not doing my work for free with all of you right now. Take a deep breath and settle into your chair. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable. If you'd rather keep your eyes open, just pick a fixed point and softly stare at that point, allowing your mind to work in the background. Breathe in slowly and breathe out slower. Settle into a rhythm of breathing that feels comfortable for you. Now, think about a characteristic or quality that you feel you need or you need more of in order to get through the more difficult aspects of your life. This characteristic or quality might be strength or peace, calm, self-compassion, confidence, competency, whatever. Pick your desired characteristic now. Then think of a symbol, something or someone who embodies this characteristic that you want to develop inside your mind. The symbol can be a thing from nature, like an animal or a mountain, or it can be an everyday item, like a lamp, or a more special item, like a painting. It can also be a person, known, celebrity, fictional, or historical. Or it can be a vision of you as you would like to be in these difficult situations, or a memory of yourself at your best, embodying your characteristic. Keep the symbol of your characteristic simple and clear. You want courage? Think of a lion. You want to be more flexible? Think of a stream. You want confidence? Think Beyonce. Inside your head, describe to yourself how you experience the symbol of your characteristic, noticing the images that come up, and noticing how you feel in your body as you develop and connect to your symbol. Use your imagination to notice what you see, what you hear, what you feel right now as you develop and connect to your symbol. Focus on that positive experience, what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you notice in your body right now. Take a moment to really bathe in that experience and vivify it. Now thank your symbol and ask it to help you the next time you're in a difficult situation. Visualize your symbol coming to help you during a mildly difficult scenario. For example, if your symbol is a unicorn, this might feel like a unicorn flying in to rescue you. If your symbol is a deceased loved one, imagine their voice encouraging you. If your symbol is a memory of you at your best, imagine that version of you coming to help you now. If your symbol is a mountain, imagine standing tall on a mountain for strength. Enjoy this visual for a moment. When you're ready, say goodbye to your symbol for now, unless you want to stay connected to this symbol for the rest of the service. When you're ready, you may open your eyes. Please take a couple minutes now to share with your neighbors anything you feel comfortable sharing about your experience during the meditation before the sermon.
Please rise in body or spirit for the singing of our centering song. I'll sing it once and invite you to join. I will be gentle with myself. I will love myself. I am a child of the universe, being born each moment. I will be gentle with myself. I will love myself. I am a child of the universe, being born each moment. I will be gentle with myself. I will love myself. I am a child of the universe, being born each moment. I will be gentle with myself. I will love myself. I am a child of the universe, being born each moment. Thank you. You may be seated.
So, I'm a licensed clinical social worker, which means I'm a psychotherapist, but that isn't who I usually am in this place. Lately, though, I've wanted to share something from that part of my life with y'all, especially at this unique time for our church, as we, the congregation, take on the responsibility of leading our worship and programs alongside our amazing paid staff. Back in 2019, I was in a staff meeting with other therapists, and we were talking about what we wish we'd known when we were therapy interns, like baby therapists. My colleague Mo Brown said that he started his internship thinking he didn't know anything, and he was overwhelmed by how much he had to learn. And then he'd said something in this meeting that absolutely blew my mind. He said that he wished someone had told him that everything he needed to know was already inside him, and he just needed to reconnect with it. I was blown away. What? What do you mean it was already inside me? Because I thought I didn't know shit as an intern. And I spent a lot of time and money and energy learning from other people in grad school. But what Mo said is true. I thought about my first job out of grad school, where in order to survive at that job, I had to work against all of my instincts about what was moral and ethical, and against all my knowledge about what was evidence-based. Then 9 years ago, when I started working for the therapy practice that I do now, I realized I was working in a community where it was finally safe enough to reincorporate the wisdom I'd instinctively known as a younger therapist, but which had been bullied out of me by ignorant and ill-intentioned management, harmful agency policies, and asinine government stipulations. I had to relearn a lot of what I had been coerced to unlearn. I also thought about how children have inherent capacities for empathy, trust, curiosity, creativity, sharing, fairness, etc. We all have stories about children who said something so simple and profound that it stopped you dead in your tracks because of how astute or humanitarian it was. From the mouths of babes, right? Young people are often less familiar with systemic pressures and limitations. Because of that, they can offer solutions that adults have already ruled out, but which adults should revisit. Children are born with a bedrock of inherent wisdom that the world chips away at as they age. Most words, they kept returning to me. Everything I needed to know was already inside me. I just needed to reconnect with it. This year, When I found out that we would be moving to a lay-led model here at church, those words exploded in my brain, and I wanted to share them with y'all. So what did I do? Did I start writing this sermon from the heart, trusting that all the words I needed were already inside me? No. I started researching like the University of Chicago graduate I am. I knew this idea showed up in religion, philosophy, and psychotherapy. Spiritually, a lot of theistic religions believe that by connecting to a god or gods, a person becomes connected to that deity's wisdom, love, compassion, all of it. For example, you can read about the idea of divine interconnected consciousness in the Bible, the Quran, the Vedas. And some spiritualists believe in the Akashic records, which they believe to be a compendium of all universal events, thoughts, emotions, and intent ever to have occurred in the past, present, or future from all life forms, not just humans, and that these records are believed to exist on a non-physical plane that humans can connect to psychically. It's a lot. In Buddhism, one of the main ideas is to reconnect with a sense of foreknowing wisdom about the world through meditation and other practices. And in psychology, there's Carl Jung's concept of the collective unconscious and his universal Jungian archetype. Are all born with universal wisdom. For, like, really. Babies are born with innate skills that they lose if they don't use them. And then they have to relearn these skills later in life. Examples are the dog paddling reflex when placed in water that babies lose at 6 months old, and the linguistic skills to mimic every single sound in any human language. But babies keep only the capacity to make the sounds that they heard in the first 12 months of life, and then might have to relearn those languages later in life. Furthermore, physicists, psychologists, and philosophers have been working together for the last decade to reconcile quantum mechanics with philosophy and even the world's religions. They're trying to identify consciousness as part of the fabric of the universe and not just a byproduct of it. And that individual consciousness is part of an interconnected field of consciousness. Some are calling this panpsychism, cosmopsychism, or the collective consciousness of the universe. So really, the idea of communal inherent wisdom is everywhere, and it's not new. After doing all this research, I still did not feel like I knew enough to do this sermon. So I asked my boss, the wise and affable Karina Tiafilo, who I think was watching on Zoom, I asked her, what are the therapy theories or spiritual roots behind what Mo said? I was expecting to hear new stuff, things I didn't know. But Karina instead told me that Mo's statement probably came from internal family systems therapy, also known as IFS therapy, which is one of my therapy specialties. I use it almost every day at work. Didn't recognize it. And while I'm talking to her, I realize how frickin' meta writing my sermon has been. I thought it was a thing I didn't know about and needed to learn from her. But then she told me it was something I already know. IFS therapy believes that we all have a self with a capital S, and your self is wise, calm, and full of unconditional love and inherent wisdom. The self is the version of you who shows up when you're at your best. IFS therapy is all about strengthening the self's relationship with our parts, with each part of ourselves having its own agendas, personalities, desires, and fears, like the Inside Out movies, honestly. And if the self can learn how to better connect with these more volatile and dysfunctional parts who are responsible for things like hypercompetence, panic, suicidal thoughts, substance abuse, whatever, if the self can learn how to better connect with them, then the self can help the parts to become calmer by offering them self-energies of connectedness, compassion, curiosity, courage, creativity, clarity, calm, and confidence. My boss, Karina, also said something that echoes Buddhist and Taoist ideas about emptiness. She said in internal family systems therapy, if we can clear out the space, we can make room for it. Room for whatever we need to build. If we look inside ourselves, if we gather all of our resources, if we connect with community and live honestly in that connection with others, everything we need is already inside us. We just have to remember and reconnect. So wait, Andrea, what do you mean I already have this thing that I've been searching for all this time? Where is it? How do I find it? Well, in order to reconnect, to remember, to redevelop these things, you need time, you need space, you need physical, emotional, cognitive, and spiritual capacity, and you need a supportive community. Luckily, we have all of that right here in this church. Everything you need is here, in your heart, in your hands, in your mind. And everything we need is here. Everything this church needs is inside its walls or on Zoom today. This is what I wanted to tell you. This is the truth that I want us to remember together.
This is an edited excerpt from the introduction of Alice Walker's "We Are the Ones We Have Been Waiting For, Inner Light in a Time of Darkness." She published these words in 2006, although it feels like she could have written it today. She begins, "It is the worst of times. It is the best of times. These words have been spoken before, and thanks to Charles Dickens, written at the beginning of a Tale of Two Cities. Perhaps they have been spoken, written, thought, an endless number of times throughout human history. It is the worst of times because it feels as though the very earth is being stolen from us, by us. The land and air poisoned, the water polluted, the animals disappeared, humans degraded and misguided. War is everywhere. It is the best of times because we have entered a period, if we can bring ourselves to pay attention, of great clarity as to cause and effect."
Because we can now see into every crevice of the globe, and because we are free to explore previously unexplored crevices in our own hearts and minds, it is inevitable that everything we have needed to comprehend in order to survive, everything we have needed to understand in the most basic of ways, will be illuminated now. We have only to open our eyes and awaken to our predicament. We see that we are, alas, a huge part of our problem. However, we live in a time of global enlightenment. This alone should make us shout for joy.
It is as if ancient graves, hidden deep in the shadows of the psyche and the earth, are breaking open of their own accord, unwilling to be silent any longer, incapable of silence. No leader or people of any country will be safe from these upheavals that lead to exposure, no matter how much the news is managed or how long people's grievances have been kept quiet. Human beings may well be unable to break free of the dictatorship of greed that spreads like a miasma over the world, but no longer will we be an inarticulate and ignorant humanity confused by our enslavement to superior cruelty and weaponry. We will know at least a bit of the truth about what's going on, and that will set us free. Perhaps not free in the old way of thinking about freedom, as literal escape from enslavement in various forms, but free in our understanding that our domination is not a comment on our worth. It is an awesome era in which to live.
It was the poet June Jordan who wrote, "We are the ones we have been waiting for," in her poem for South African women, which she presented to the United Nations in 1978 to encourage the global fight against apartheid. It commemorated the 40,000 South African women and children who together engaged in bodily protest in 1958 against racist ID document policies. Sweet Honey in the Rock turned those words into a song. Hearing this song, I have witnessed thousands of people rise to their feet in joyful recognition and affirmation. We are the ones we've been waiting for because we are able to see what is happening with a much greater awareness than our parents or grandparents, our ancestors, could see.
This does not mean we believe, having seen the greater truth of how all oppression is connected, how pervasive and unrelenting, that we can fix things. But some of us are not content to have a gap in opportunity and income that drives a wedge between rich and poor, causing the rich to become ever more callous and complacent, and the poor to become ever more wretched and humiliated. Not willing to ignore starving and brutalized children, not willing to let women be stoned or mutilated without protest, not willing to stand quietly by as farmers are destroyed by people who have never farmed and plants are engineered to self-destruct, not willing to disappear into our flower gardens, Mercedes-Benzes, or sylvan lawns. We have wanted all our lives to know that Earth was capable of creating humans who could minister to her needs and the needs of her creation. We are the ones.
June Jordan, who died of cancer in 2002, was a brilliant, fierce, radical, and frequently furious poet. We were friends for 30 years. We were not friends who saw each other often. In fact, we sometimes disagreed profoundly with each other. We were the kinds of friends, instead, who understood that we were forever on the same side, the side of the poor, the economically, spiritually, and politically oppressed, the wretched of the earth. And on the side, too, of the revolutionaries, teachers, and spiritual leaders who seek transformation of the world. That any argument arising between us would be silenced as we turned our combined energy to scrutinize an oncoming foe. I took great comfort in this reality. This seems a model of what can help us rebalance the world. Friendship with others, populations, peoples, countries. Many people are already working on this model.
In fact, the happiness that imbues this kind of friendship, whether for an individual or a country, a church or an act, is like an inner light, a compass we might steer as we set out across the lengthening darkness. It comes from the simple belief and understanding that what one is feeling and doing is right. That it is right to protect rather than terrorize others, right to feed people rather than withhold food and medicine, right to want the freedom and joyful existence of all humankind, right to want this freedom and joy for all creatures that exist already, or that might come into existence. It is a happiness that comes from honoring the peace or the possibility of peace that lives within one's own heart. A deep knowing that we are the earth, our separation from earth, perhaps our greatest illusion, that we stand with gratitude and love by our planetary self. The world is getting its elders back. The world is as beautiful as it ever was. It is changing, but then it always has been. This is a good time to change and remain beautiful with it.
We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting.
Our sending hymn is number 118 in the gray hymnal, This Little Light of Mine.
Please rise and body your spirit.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
remain standing and hold your hands with your neighbor if you feel comfortable doing so. Making a big circle in this church and in Zoom. I hope you guys feel the love too. Everything you need is already inside you, waiting for you to remember. Everything this church needs is inside it. Everything we need is here, inside of these walls and inside Zoom. Our service is over and our work begins again. Go reconnect and remember each other.
One more quick announcement. I just want to let everyone know that the women's group meeting has been canceled. Again, the women's group meeting has been canceled, but everything else is still on, and I'm hoping to see you guys with the refreshments. Okay.